Bang, bang, bang.
It's whose house? Ron's house. Hey, listen, we up in here, doing what we do over here all the time. Today I got my partner, Ace Boom Coon. You know what I'm saying? Part of the founding operational, organizational movement, 3rd Battalion and Survival Mode Music and Media. He has his own organization, Joint Task Productions. The one, the only Grammar Under Surveillance, ladies and gentlemen.
But how y'all doing today? My name is Michael Bay. My artist name is G.U.S. Grammar Under Surveillance. I'm an owner of Joint Task Productions. I'm an artist, producer, and engineer. I served in the Air National Guard, Air Force, of course, component, for 12 years come November, come next month, So I did that. I did 4 tours. First tour to Iraq, I did my last 2 tours in Afghanistan and like my second tour, Kuwait. But I've been to multiple countries within each tour, so it's like, I done seen a lot. I've been through a lot, but I signed my contract right before my 28th birthday. Fresh out of my career field school, we call it tech school, Fresh out of that, my second day back, I was told I was going to Iraq, my second day back out of tech school. So, I just did basic training.
Right.
Was away from my family that time. In between basic training, my tech school, I did have 6 weeks because they didn't have seats.
I understand.
So it's like, 6 weeks I waited. Like some people go straight through, some people don't. Some people wait a year after, and just sit,
I totally
it all depending on the availability of the career
class,
field
yeah.
and class. Like so, I was heavy equipment operator. You know what I mean? Engineering. So it's like civil engineering. That's what it is. So, I think that added to like how I started looking at life too. I started thinking about life a little more meticulously.
Okay.
You understand? Like because I'm constantly dealing with numbers and you're working with the earth too, So it's like you're leveling ground or doing something like mathematic.
Right.
Everything is all numbers, So I think that opened up my mind a lot.
What was it like being in another country and working with another military as a U.S. military service member?
Okay. Well, yeah, it's definitely not always, frontline combat and everything, because the military is it's very diverse. It's a wide range of career fields, and it's a wide range of different trades, So, when you do travel to different places, working with foreign militaries, I work with the Iraqi military,
Okay.
Afghani military, So it's like, when people think that you're in Iraq, you're going to war with Iraq and everything, it's like sometimes it's just not that. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's actually you're assisting other military personnel on other parts of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
But like my first tour, I went straight to Baghdad, Iraq. 2010.
Okay.
So I only spent a couple months in Iraq during that deployment.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went off to another place, Kyrgyzstan. Yeah.
I don't know how many people who understand what happens when U.S. personnel get deployed.
Mm-hmm.
But, as we mentioned, we were talking before, a lot of times, I know for me growing up, I always thought a deployment was combat oriented and it meant, that was what the U.S. service member was going to do. But
now, of course, like you still in hostile territory. You know, you still get attacked by rockets. You still get attacked by mortars. You know, but it's not directly from another military we're working for. You know,
I get that.
Do. You know, people, if they don't want you set up where they at, you know, they're gonna do what they, you know.
But they in this case is not Iraq's government.
It's not the military. No,
it's somebody else in Iraq. Maybe
it's
what they
more
call
of
insurgents.
Insurgency, or more of a personal vendetta within that construct as well.
Country,
you know, like and that's just, you know, that's the nature of the beast, so to speak. You know, one experience was, you know, we was out at the fire for a little bit. You know, it was pretty peaceful. And the first night rocket attacks, they sent 11 of them our way. The first night that they sent rockets, so they sent 11 rockets our way. You know, you hear some off in the distance, but then you start hearing them get closer, you know, and closer. So you're like, you know, close enough where, you know, everything where you're staying is shaking when you feel it hits, you know. You know, so you run over to the bunkers or whatever.
Say that again. You ran to the where?
You go to the bunkers.
Okay.
After it's clear, after they have a clear of nothing coming out the sky.
Right.
That's when you go to the bunkers.
Right,
you don't go in the middle or something dropping. You got
shelter in place.
Wherever, because you don't want to run into nothing or you know.
Right.
But that was the first night. You know, when they started sending them our way. You know, I guess fighting season began, because that's the thing. So after that, it was just constant. You know, it was constant. But we weren't out there fighting.
Right.
You understand? Where we were. Where our operation was strictly to let the Afghani military fight their own battles. Went to one FOB in Afghanistan, which it was nothing. It was nothing there. You know, like we had a 12-man team. You know, that was all civil engineers. I was the only equipment operator, but what we had to do was just 12 of us run water, power. You know, we had to construct the land, like build the land up so you can have people housed on it. You understand? So we pretty much built it from nothing. It was nothing. It was empty. It was black. You know, nighttime is black. You know.
Right.
But we had to provide power and running water, and also we didn't have a place to really land where we were. We had to use. We pretty much had to use the airstrip that was there, but we didn't own anymore. Pretty much. So, but that airstrip is so far away. It's about a 40-minute drive. You understand, through the FOB to actually get there. So what I had to do, one of my jobs, probably my biggest job there, was build a helipad.
Okay.
And I had a backhoe and a skid steer. If people not too familiar with it, those little 4-wheel machines that people ride around in with the little bucket on there and the cage around it, that's a skid steer. Backhoe, you see water companies and everybody use that all the time in the streets. The bucket on the front is a tractor with the little claw on the back.
Okay.
You know, that's all I had to actually make that happen.
And you built a helipad.
A helipad with river rock, though. It was river rock because it wasn't no way to get any asphalt or concrete shipped to that location, so they used river rock. And I had to level it enough for a helicopter to be able to land, because helicopters got to land level, they have to land on level ground. So that was probably like one of my biggest accomplishments, because it prevented a lot of traffic between on the Afghani side. Every time somebody wanted to be flown in or in and out, prevented a lot of traffic, a lot less paperwork as well, because you need written permission every move you make outside of your area. Like, it has to be something written by the leaders on each side, pretty much people with the highest authority on each side, and it's letters, written document. And I can imagine how painstaking that could be. But I think that was one of my biggest things, because it was appreciated by everyone. Like everyone, because it was I just gave people like a direct lane to get in and out of our area.
Gotcha.
So that was a big deal, and what we did during that time was a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, it was unfortunate. It was an unfortunate place to be though,
Right.
because people think like the U.S. military right now is just over there destroying shit, and it's you know, like in some instances maybe so, but like my experience was it's strictly like a training mission.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's strictly a training mission, and I'm just building areas that was neglected and dilapidated up so they can be rebuilt up to help out. You know.
Right. When we say training, just piggybacking on what we said earlier, that
Yeah.
not that you were training people, but that your mission was to make sure they had a base to operate from.
Right. Right.
And that was where the training was taking place, where our leadership, our infantry leadership, and our tactical leadership was teaching their homegrown troops how to self-govern.
Right. To just go back to when I said it was a sad situation altogether, you know, is because you gotta realize that for every one of those rockets that came our way, and for all the rockets that's going other ways in that same place, because if they're using them on us, you know, they're using them more on places that really can't defend themselves.
Right.
You understand? So it's a sad thing just to know that that even though you feeling that you want to serve your country and everything and do what you do for home, you know, because it's not even about us going over terrorizing. It's about us thinking about home, you know, first. So it's sad to see that even trying to be noble with living, you know, that you still wrapped up in the chaos, kind of, you know, you still find yourself wrapped up in the chaos, even if you're not directly a part of it, but you still tied in. You know what I mean? So when you tied into that chaos like that, man, it's a sad thing to see.
Can we take a break here, man?
Yeah.
Let's take a break here. Yo, this shit get me talking about some real heavy stuff, man. That was part of why I asked for the break, man.
So yeah, the reason why I said it's sad, man, is because you know, like you out there in another country, and you realizing like all the chaos that's going on, like you seeing it, you know what I mean, you hearing it, you know, every night, you know, like we really had our hands off, you know, like out there, like it's crazy because like you would hear the Afghani army battling, you would hear the battles, you know what I mean. Closest one was probably 2 clicks away, you know, and we was on the Hesco walls because we had to be armed and everything too. All these conflicts that you constantly hear, like you hear it every night. You go to sleep, it's gonna be conflict. You know, you wake up, it's gonna be conflict, and it's constant. You know, it's constant. Like the amount of bloodshed that was going on. You know, like constantly while you're out there. You know, like you know, you have sleep. You sleep, but you have sleep.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because you are being, you know, you are thinking about everything that could possibly go on there. You know what I mean? Like the territory we was in anyway, man. You know, it's like I slept every night with my M9 like by my head, you know what I mean, like ready. We got in a position where as whatever the angle or direction of conflict could happen if I'm in there, you know, like I had it ready there where, you know. But it was a lot of people dying out there, you know. A lot of human beings dying out there. Like, you know, and to actually, you know, be working in the midst of it, you know, and then watching, you know, just bodies being hauled off in Chinooks, you know, like realizing like people dying every day out here, you know, like so that
Chinooks?
impact.
What's Chinooks?
Chinooks is they look like big 2 propeller helicopters. A Chinook pilot will get upset if you call them a helicopter pilot though, because this is a totally different breed of aircraft. But it looked like a helicopter, but it's big, it's huge. You know, on the movies you'll see them with the backs always open. You know what I mean? Like, and they fly like that often. But you just watching, you know, and this Afghani military. You know, like it's not our cell was good. Yeah. You know, the people we were there with was good. You know, everybody on point, everybody watching each other back, and everybody just do what you got to do to get your time in. You know, or get your time done, finish with. You know, but yeah, to actually see that part right there, that's the part of the chaos, being wrapped up in the chaos that you don't intend to be wrapped up into, but you know, doing a service to the country that you can get pulled in that direction, but it's a sad thing though, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like to realize that, like, I know how I feel about life, you know what I mean? I know how I feel about life, and it's just like, that's just like a game that I couldn't maintain to be a part of, you know? Because it's like, I you know, a lot of times you try to do things for the right reasons, but sometimes it's not the best reason.
I'd rather learn something
than you understand what I'm saying?
Just pretend I know it all day.
The impact, I mean?
For me, that's why I fell in love with it.
I think it's just something that will never escape your mind.
Yeah, I like
you understand?
Too.
You'll always hear
when you learn a effect or how to do something.
You know,
it's like
when it shook, you know what I mean?
Like,
shook the buildings.
Yeah.
You remember all that clearly, and it's something that just don't go away. So the impact, you know, these are like extreme times of stress. You know, when things like this happen. So it's like, it's a stress where you gotta find an outlet. You know, you have to, like, you gotta have something. It has to be something that you want to hold close to yourself, that you need to get through certain times of stress like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, I served those 12 years. I said, you know, like, they gave me 12, I gave them 12. I probably gave them 24. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Because of what I had to bring back home. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And the time that I'm gonna have to take to recoup the time that I had that was theirs. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, you know, it's almost like you gave them double.
Always.
You know,
you
like
always
whatever.
Give them more.
You know what I mean? So it's
always.
Like, because you they're gonna that's gonna operate and keep going.
Right.
The way it functions, it's gonna function and redo it and a new assembly line over and over. But you the one that gotta go home and deal with the memories that you took from these experiences.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's the sad part of it, and that's the part that will affect anybody. Yeah. Anybody. Yeah. Like any human being that experiences it'll affect you all. Doesn't, you know what I mean? No, it don't matter who you are. If you go through that experience, it's going to affect everyone the same. You know, like some people will admit to it, some people will deny it. You know, like, so, you know, like, but that's a part of my life that I can't say that I would take back, but I would definitely thought about it harder.
I know you were starting to mention, you know, how everybody has to find a way to
outlet or something, yeah.
But that those traumas and going through it, you were deployed for what, 7 months, a year, 6 months
apiece.
6 months apiece. So so in each of those deployments, as you're going through it, you find a way. What was it that you found to be an empowerment or something to help you to maintain harmony, balance through the chaos you were dealing with?
Well, it was the music. You know, like, that was my therapy, man. You know, that was my outlet. You know, that was something that I had. You know, like, I could phase a lot out while I'm creating. You know, I could phase a lot out, man. Like, even times where, you know, it's like, you know, any night something could come, you know. But it's just times where it's just like, you know what? I'm gonna sit here and ease my mind a bit, you know.
Yeah.
Like so I did a lot of production in those places, you know. I did a lot of production. You know, I would do some writing every now and then, but I did a lot of production, like trying to hone that skill, you know, a little more. It's like taking the time. I said, you know, I'm sitting here, something could happen or something won't happen.
Right.
You know, so I took that time, you know, and that was the way I coped.
Yeah.
That was actually the way I coped majority of the time.
I mean,
it was good to like call back home, call family, and everything. But sometimes, sometimes you know you don't even want that energy that you have at that moment. You don't even want to even convey to you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Had them even see that type of energy,
Right.
or you gotta disguise it in a way. You know what I mean. So it's like that was cool. But it's always that was a piece of the coping.
Right.
Just knowing my family okay.
Right.
But
or God forbid, it's the other side where things ain't too cool at home.
Yeah.
Until calling home become an additional stressor. So it's is this the time to do it?
And a lot of people go through that too. A lot of people go through that. Like literally, like a lot of people, man. It's been times I've seen people go home, their family wasn't there.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah.
Like where the spouse just up and left.
Yeah, and the deployment be like
in the middle of deployment.
Is what it is, man. The reality of it is, you use music to cope. You honed your skills producing.
Right.
You know, you've put in 12 years, 4 tours, and now as it stands, you going forward. What does the future have in store for Michael Bay, aka Grandma Under Surveillance? What's next? And I know part of that includes, you mentioned Joint Task Productions, so.
Right. Well, Joint Task Productions, it's been a business for about a year, officially, that's a big focus for me, like the music production, like it's in all realms though, it's just not in one area or one genre, like I'm just going to take it to a whole different place, but it's my place,
You have anything you working on recently or new that will be related? Because you said taking it to different genres.
Yeah. Well, I definitely got one genre that I'm really happy to do, like soul funk.
Okay.
I really enjoy that. Ron Davis Sr.
That's what's up.
He's in Norway right now, and they loving his sound out there,
Right.
They loving his sound, and I'm just happy to be a part of that, because a lot of people, if you do know who I am or know of me, or whatever, 3rd Battalion, Survival Mode, Joint Task Productions, you know what I mean. So it's like, I don't want people to think that I'm just boxed into a hip hop, or a rap or anything like that, or R&B, because I have, but to be able to venture out to soul and funk, that's a big deal to me, because I grew up on soul and funk, jazz. I grew up on music. I love music, what I mean? So it's like, it's always, oh man, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more though too.
Yeah. And what's the name of y'all project y'all got out?
Well,
it's his project, but that you worked with.
Yeah, I mean, the last song we did was Different World.
Different World, okay.
Yeah, Different World. That was the latest,
single, okay.
Yeah, his latest single. So, probably gonna add some more. That's probably gonna be a part of his next project.
Definitely,
I believe. So.
Definitely. I'm sure he mentioned that for sure.
And y'all could check out Different World on YouTube too.
Oh yeah,
so just go to Ron Davis Sr. Different World, it'll pop up.
Okay.
It's a good song, man. It's a good song.
All right. And what about yourself? You got other stuff that you got in the works. You mentioned with Joint Task Productions. What you plan on doing with that, or with yourself musically as an artist, or even production wise as a producer? You got anything else going on engineering wise?
Right. Well, right now, I'm focused more on trying to line the business side up, because it's we have tons of material, tons of recorded material, tons of projects out there, like POA, Love and War, you know, I'm Here, Grammar, Under Surveillance, 3rd Battalion, Pandemonium. Like, it's a lot of projects and work out there, so I'm focused on like the more of the business side right now. You know, I love to network. I love to know new people, people who really love and enjoy music as much as I do.
Right.
Love to work with new people. You know, like we just got done some stuff with Duck City,
right,
West Virginia. You know, like that's what I'm really trying to have joint task productions, not just solely on just the music relationship,
right,
but actually like to actually be able to build, you know, produce, joint task productions. I mean, produce period, whether it's like a human dynamic or the music dynamic. You know what I mean? And but you know, it's definitely something that you want to take, because it's an extension of me. You know, it's an extension of who I am. So while it's an entity of its own, it's also a piece of me. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you need both with that. You know, and that's what I want joint task productions to be about.
Understood.
You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like support independent, like creativity.
Right.
You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't just have to be the music. You know,
right.
It's just producing, like as you put it, like just producing. Yeah.
Right.
So that's the goal for joint task productions.
Salute.
You know what I mean? Like, between you could be art. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be music. Like any art form.
Gotcha.
That's what we're opening up to.
Salute. Salute. Yeah. And you said that people can get in contact with you again on Facebook.
Facebook, Michael Bay, GUS Grammar Under Surveillance. It's all together. You might be able to find me, but it's easier if you put Michael Bay GUS. And at Instagram at Grammar Under Surveillance. And email any business or anything, you know, mr.tbey@outlook.com.
Good to go. Hey, well, listen, we appreciate you, good brother. We're going to talk to you soon. You always at Who's House? Ron's house. And we're going to make moves soon in the near future. Shout out to LOLT. It's the first one. We'll be back. Salute.
Who's house?
You know that it runs out. Chillin' down it runs out. You know that it runs out.
Who's house? Ron's house. Who's house? Ron's house. Who's house? Ron's house. Ron's house. Ron's house. Who's house? Ron's house. Who's house? Ron's house. Who's house? Ron's house. Ron's house. Ron's house. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.